Hi everyone, this is Diane. I'm back to do a little more work on this valuable paper file binder journal. I did the collage on the front cover and the fabric in the last video, but I added a couple elements. I said that I might add some small pieces, and there's green stamps and a milk bottle top. And I added this little ticket or tag thing here. I just glued it down there for fun. And I put a repair tag in this pocket. I don't know what I'll do to it. I'll do something to it, but I just put it there so that I'd remember that's what I wanted to do. And then you saw me decorate this envelope. And I added this card inside. I cut a piece of ledger cardstock. This one is 7 Gypsies, this one is Prima. But this one has the days of the week on it, and then I put this part on upside down. But you just have to flip it instead of turn it. But anyway, this is a vintage, I guess it's for insurance purposes to write down the value of your possessions. And this was the page for the library, den, or office. And then at the bottom of that, I put this image from an old magazine and some cellophane tape. This tape had been wrapped around the edge of something, so it was creased. So I just put it around the edge of this page. And that goes in here. Now I've got some more pieces kind of picked out that I want to work on. So I would like to have one envelope with the card inside, and then at least one page, in some instances 2 pages, and then another envelope with a card inside, and then another page. And I'm just going to repeat that pattern until the book is full enough, and that way I'll know how many. I don't want to just do all the envelopes and then do all the other things and then realize this is way too full. So here's another card that I cut from ledger scrapbook paper, and this is going to be a page. So I've already punched the holes. I've already added vintage fabric at the top, and I'm just going to add a couple little embellishments, but basically leave it so that you can journal on it. This is a portion of the repair tag that was actually used for my sewing machine. Last time I took my sewing machine to get it fixed. And since the one I've been using is now giving me trouble, I got this one out of my closet and took the tag off it. And I'm using that one now. It's my cheaper machine. And I'm going to put that tag there. I think I'll cover up my phone number with washi tape or masking tape or something. Got a little piece of masking tape right here. You can see through it. But anyway, this came out of an old magazine, and of course this is the top of my repair tag. Let me look for washi tape to put over that. My son and my granddaughter just left. I was working on gathering stuff to do this video, and he said he had some stuff to drop off for me, so I didn't start the video. And then he came, and the stuff he was dropping off for me isn't mine. It's my daughter's. But I told him he could leave it here. It's just stuff that got left at his house from Christmas time when we all got together. A dish and, you know, stuff that you take to people's houses when you're bringing food for a party and stuff. So I'm going to see her Wednesday because I'm going to watch her son Thursday, so I said he could leave him here, but then I invited them in to come in and sit down and visit. So now I'm getting to do my video. So I think I'm just going to leave that for now. I am going to use some of my stamps, and I got some out. I'm not going to use them today, but I have the mail stamps, and these are all Tim Holtz ones that I'm showing you right now. These are called School Desk, and they have numbers and lined paper. Just the four stamps go in the School Desk set. So I want to stamp on copy dyed paper or things like that. I've got some numbers and text here, and then the field notes has lots of different number fonts in it. And then I will go through and add those pieces that I've stamped into the journal, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm putting a paper clip on this flap because it wants to pop open because of the paper that I wrapped around. So I'm putting a paper clip over it to kind of train it to stay closed. And if it doesn't want to be trained, then I will leave the paper clip on it. Then I have this page. So this is an extra page that'll be between the envelopes, I think. And it is a log book page from a ham radio operator. This is a piece of masking tape that has no sticky left on it. I bought this roll of warped, dried up masking tape at a flea market. So I'm going to reinforce this because this is kind of old paper. Well, it's pretty old paper, but it's kind of fragile. So I'm going to glue masking tape on it and then punch the holes in it. And that will reinforce that paper. As I work on these pages today, they're probably not done. I'll probably go back and add those number elements. I'll either stamp them on paper and then glue them to the page, or else I'll stamp them directly on the page. Like on this one, I might stamp numbers right on it. But I don't think I'm going to be doing any stamping today. I have so much stuff out. Vintage ephemera and digital ephemera and old ledger papers and my old pieces of tape. I've got so much stuff out, so I don't want to add the stamps and the ink to the mix. So I'll do that separately. And I will take an envelope that has the holes. I've got my pieces gathered up for that envelope and kind of line that up in the middle. I'll definitely have to reinforce those holes, but I'm just for now gonna put some holes through that, and then I don't know if I'll add anything to the back of that. Where'd my paper punch go? I used it and I didn't put it back, so it's buried. Well, I'm going to use this for now. I just know that my other paper punch punches a bigger hole, but just for now I'm going to use that, at least to get the hole in there. I can punch it again with my other punch when I find it. I think I marked that a little. I had my envelope crooked because this is further in. So this is a flap, and it could be 2 flaps, but I think I will glue this closed so this can be a little tuck spot. And I will add some embellishments to this page. I just don't have them chosen yet. I thought I would add this in here somewhere. This is just a foil label that I have. Ferguson Treasured Furniture. I don't know where I got it. Probably in a box of stuff. I don't think it'll go there though. And I thought I would include this somewhere in here. It's one of the it's a lumber scale, so it just has information, numbers for somebody building something from the Anderson Corporation. So that'll get tucked in this journal somewhere. But for now, this got torn, so I'll add a little bit of cellophane, my vintage cellophane. I forgot to put my chicken in the oven while my son was here, so my supper's going to be a little bit late tonight. Yeah, so I will add more embellishment to that, but for now, I'm going to call it good. Then I have this envelope. And I have some pieces already to use in here. I want to take this. I have a little folder of miscellaneous digitals, like this was left over from a project. So I want to use some of those. I took a piece of cardstock and slipped it into this pocket. And then I just drew a line here. And then when I pulled the cardstock out, I cut that line. So that will help me to cut something to fit that pocket. So I want this to be here, and it has to be cut along this line. So I'm lining the top up. I can see the angle right there and the top with the envelope, and I'll line the bottom up. And now I know that the opening has this shape. So I'm going to draw, oops, let's move everything and make a mess. And then cut it. Hopefully this will work a little bit easier than the way I did it the first time. pretty good. And I have this piece I wanted to add. So this is actually from a periodical from the 1800s, and it's advertising slate for the roof. Roofing, blackboards, and structural. Write us before ordering elsewhere. And so I'm putting advertisements, vintage advertisements, on the pages and envelopes as embellishments, thinking that the owner of this notebook was keeping these advertisements for future reference. So this one is for Fashionette Invisible Hairnets, and this one is a digital. It's probably one of my digitals. I'll just add those elements on top of this piece. Let's get this piece down first. Kind of wish I could keep this journal, but I'm not going to keep it. Where's the other one? Here it is. There's space you can write on this page. And there will be space on the front of the envelope and on the card inside. So there will be lots of journaling space, even though I'm doing a lot of decorating. Maybe I'll just add a little piece of cellophane tape there. I think I dropped it. I'll have to look for it, because I don't want to waste it. The cellophane was folded over and I was trying to, the corner was folded and I was trying to open it out and I dropped it. This glue looks white when I put it on, but it dries clear. These pieces of tape came off of old books that were taped together or off of old papers. If I can get them off cleanly, I keep them. And I have some pieces pulled that are going to go on the flap. These are digitals. This is one I own. It's from Mr. Biles. I got a whole collection of his stuff too. And this is dated 1851. And I have the original, but I made digitals with it. So this is printed. And I'm going to use a portion of it on this flap. Guess I'll do this one down here because I don't want to cut that building off. And then this came in a set of digitals. It might be from Tsunami Rose. I'm not going to use this much. But these are going to reinforce the fold. Okay, I think that'll work. Tomorrow I don't have errands to run, so hopefully I'll just get in here and get to playing and just have all kinds of fun with this binder journal. I'm doing 2 binder journals, but they're both different, so I'm doing them separately, not at the same time. The other one will be a recipe binder. It does have envelopes with it, but it's going to be completely different from what I'm doing today. So I'm going to finish one and then start the other. And I've got 2 glue bottles sitting here with no pins in them. There. Oh, I wanted it this way. You were yelling at me, weren't you? I guess I don't need to cut anything off. And then of course when this glue is dry, I will cut that excess off. And again, I've got some writing up here. House and furniture and car. I couldn't read that at first because the U looks like an O, so What is a house and furniture? I think it's house and furniture and car. Fire insurance. So I think we already determined that we don't want just a piece of tape hanging out there for no reason. So I will look for another label to put there. I've used these canning labels in various journals, but I don't use these other ones very much. I'm going to use this one that says this side up. I know that's for a box, but I'm going to use it anyway. I have a couple little pieces I want to make too, like embellishment things. I already have things ready to go to do them, so hopefully I can do them next and get them done on this video. And then this will be I didn't need to draw those because the holes are right there. I'll have to do some tidying when I'm done with this video so I can find my paper punch. I have this one that I don't, oh not that one, this one, and I don't really like to use it much simply because it's a new one and it's comfortable to use. It works great, but I always have to use a pin to get the paper to vacate the hole so I can punch the next one, and that's a pain. So the paper is stuck in there. Even doing that won't move it. So I just have to poke it out with a pin. Oh, that one stuck to the paper, so it was still there. I punched out some reinforcements out of craft cardstock that I will end up gluing there to help reinforce, because those holes are getting torn. Might as well glue them there right now. I just thought these craft paper or craft cardstock reinforcements would provide a little more stability than the gummed reinforcements that I have, because they're basically just paper anyway, and they do tear. So hopefully these will work better, especially if I put one on each side. Make sure we fold this on the right line. there's the flap. And then I just have this also digital. And this is from a kit that I purchased. This is French. I don't have any real French ephemera. But I will do something to the back of it. But for now, I just folded it. And it fits perfectly in the envelope. So that'll be in there. Here are the little pieces that I wanted to do something with. So I was just going to make a little ephemera, little cluster with this. This is part of a security envelope and part of a vintage letter envelope. And then this is a pennant that I cut out of a piece of scrap cardstock, patterned cardstock. And I saw somebody do this. I was watching Phyllis Space Handmade is the name of her channel, and so I'm inspired by her with this binder. Her journal, the one I saw, isn't a binder, but oh, it's rings. She just put in some book rings, so kind of has the same feel. But she did this folding of the pennant, which I thought was pretty clever. Just kind of fold it up and then put a brad in it to hold it. So I'm going to poke a hole for the brad to go through. I want to make sure that I get it not just in this part, but in the folded part to hold it. And I have a white brad. Oh, I forgot. I need it to go onto these pieces. So, and she had it up like that. Turn the pennant kind of upside down and at an angle. And I just thought that was cool. So, put a hole there. And this will go onto one of the pages or envelopes or something. And the other little thing I wanted to make was this, also inspired by her. She had hers attached to a page, I think. I want to put mine in an envelope. But it's just some little pieces that I'm going to put together, and they can be swiveled. They're going to be put together with a brad. And then they'll go in this little pocket. I put my brad in the little hole that was already in this, just so I wouldn't lose it. So there's already a tiny little hole there. This is a digital. This is just a piece of ephemera that came with some stuff. Probably Tim Holtz, I don't know. This is a digital. It's one of those button card type of things from Nevermore Creations. I've had them for a long time. You get quite a few, and I have used some, but I still have a bunch. So I'm going to use some. So it just has a little button there, and it says, "And so the story begins." I can always take this apart and do inking on the backs of those if I want to. This is from an old lady's, not an old lady, a vintage ladies magazine for a pattern for that dress. And this is a ticket that I printed. I think this is in my tags and tickets digital. It's like a bus ticket. So I will take this apart and ink things. Let's put this on the back. Okay, so we're going to start with this little thing. And this might go near the front of the book because it has a place for a name. So that could be a good place to write the owner's name. It's a little square brad. And I already spread this brad, so it doesn't want to close enough for me to get it in the tiny little hole. So I'm not going to fight with it on camera. Just set this brad aside so I don't lose it. But I'll have them all stacked up like this, and then you can swivel them out and write on them, or remove the brad and write on them, and then they will be stored in this pocket. How does this go? Oh, it goes like that. The flap got glued down. So I'll just glue this to a page or something, and this little thing will be tucked in there. So what will we do with this? Can't just leave it plain. I have a box of little vintage ephemera pieces that I might be able to use. Well, this isn't vintage, I don't think. No, these are like vellum stickers that I got free with an order. I could put that on there. I like that red one. Artificially colored and flavored. Preservative added. Wimmer's anything. I have no idea what that is. Now I just have to be able to peel, find a corner, there we go. It's very muted. Shows up better once I put it on the white. That's kind of cool. I like it. I don't need to decorate the back because I'll glue it down to a page. Then I'll have these stuck together with the brad and they will be in there. I like that. They're not vellum stickers, but they're see-through. Alright, so I have two little pieces. What else? I have this, which is going to be a page, and I already added some reinforcements. And I'm just going to add this piece of this happy couple with the flowers, just for a decoration, and then you can write on the back. I'll just trim them a little bit more closely. Kind of want to leave some of that green on them, though. This came out of an old magazine. I just think they look cute there with the giant flowers. I just turned the light on. I'm going to look for a stamped piece to add to this. I just put in my binder some black and white stamped journaling spots. There they are. When I was cleaning and organizing this weekend, I found those tucked in with something. And I put them in my binder so I'd know where to find them. And that worked, didn't it? Because I found them. I think I'll just use this plain. Everything on this page is black and white except for the green aura around the couple. So maybe I'll put a little green around that also. Maybe this is the right color of green. Perfect. I think this green is called Call Me Clover from Stampin' Up. Call Me Clover. I think that really helps set it off. So that's a fun page. I'm using several pages from this paper pad that has the shape at the bottom. And it's this, and I've almost used it up. I've had it for years, but I hoarded it. DCWV Ledger Stack. But it had 36 sheets, so you can see I've used it quite a bit. It's just taken me a long time to get through it. That's a fun page, and I can add a stamped embellishment or something to that. going to have to go very soon. But I have another paper. This is going to be another page. And this is piano roll paper that I will glue down and then trim around it. And this is another of the miscellaneous papers that I have. This is from Tsunami Rose. It's one of the first digital kits I ever got, because this might have been, was this the free one? I don't remember. My first digital kit was a free kit that Tsunami Rose offered. And I don't think this was it, but I got it very soon after, and it's called Polished Lackluster. So I just took one of those pages and tore a corner of it off. I'm going to add it to this page, and I have these blouses from an old Montgomery Ward catalog that I can add. So this might be some blouses that the lady of the house was interested in. So I'll glue them on there somehow. And that'll be a fun page. And then I have another envelope ready to go. And I used another piece of, well, I used this first. I tore this page off, the Polished Lackluster, and then this came off of that, what was left. So I'm going to glue that there. I'm going to have this strip covering the holes and then repunch them. Instead of adding reinforcements, I'll just do a whole strip. And I'm just going to leave this part, maybe add a little something, but I'm not going to cut it right to that. So I think this was going to be on the flap. That's a printable, and then this I made a copy of a book page. Oh yeah, I already traced, let's cut them. I already traced around the flap of the envelope, so I know where to cut these. This book is really old, from the 1800s, so it was fine to make a copy of that page. So I'll glue that down, and then this will be back here. And this will be on this side. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye, and I will come back and work on these tomorrow morning. And probably not on video. I just showed you what I'm going to do, so I won't have to video it. So I don't know what the next video will hold, but I hope you come back for it. I'll see you then. Have a creative day today. Bye-bye.